Welcome back to MBL Garage Talks. Today we're going to talk about something that every rider feels, but not everyone knows how to describe it. Why we ride, why motorcycle, what is this thing that holds us to the riding? Today we have two guests, Neil Tzur and Uri. Start with Neil. What did actually cause you to fall in love with riding motorcycle?
10 years ago, I really wanted to get a motorcycle license. I went through stuff in my life. My mother passed away. I decided that life is too short. I wanted to do things that I always wanted to do. I wanted to get a motorcycle license when I was 18, and I couldn't. Things didn't work out. So about 30 years later, I got my motorcycle license. I love the fact that I'm by myself. I have my helmet on. Sometimes I'm not even putting the music on. And I'm just listening to the bike, to the road, to the wind.
To the quiet.
It's not quite quiet because I can't have complete quiet. I'm going crazy if it's complete quiet. It's quiet. The quiet means it's calming. Yeah, the quiet is me with a motorcycle. That's the. It's very calming, very relaxing. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Do you remember your first ride?
Yeah, of course I do. I had a Suzuki GW250. It was 2-cylinder, small motorcycle, naked.
Small, you mean a big scooter, okay?
No. It was a motorcycle. It was heavy.
250, I would say.
250. You know, in somebody told me that in places in the Far East, they're using it as a minivan. They drive in the whole families on something like that.
True.
So I felt very comfortable on that bike. There's a name to my bike that I named it for a reason, and that's part of that. So maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later.
What caused you to like riding so much bikes?
Well, I wanted to ride bikes even from back home, but when I moved to Canada, there was no point buying a motorcycle because winters were very long, and then I got married, and while I was married, there was absolutely no question about riding a bike. So as soon as I got a divorce,
He got married to the bike.
I got married to the bike. I bought a bike. My first bike was a Honda Shadow 750, beautiful motorcycle. I showed up to the family meeting on Saturday morning in Kiva's restaurant, and the first thing my ex-wife is saying, "Can I have a ride?" And I'm like, "No." So what caused me to fall in love with the motorcycle is really the sense of freedom that you get when you ride. You know, Neil was talking about listening to the quiet. The quiet is inside your head. It's the fact that it's you, the motorcycle, and the road. The smells, the views. You live with the environment. You don't. I read somewhere that it says that when you drive a car and the road is that you're watching a movie. When you're on a motorcycle, you are the movie. So it's really it's an amazing feeling. Somebody that doesn't ride will never understand it.
Did you guys start loving the bike really fast, or it took some time to start liking the bike so much? Let's start with Uri. What about you?
Well, to be honest with you, the loving of the bike, the feeling of the riding was instant. There was no delay at all. I will never forget my first ride. The family went to Wasaga Beach, and I decided I'm going with the motorcycle to Wasaga Beach. Before that, I did just little trips around the neighborhood. My buddy basically taught me how to ride by saying, "This is how you start the bike, go." So I figured I'm gonna go see the family in Wasaga Beach. A trip that's supposed to take 4 hours back and forth maximum took me 7.5 hours. And I learned two things: A, get a GPS so you get lost nicely, and number two, wear something on your mouth so you don't swallow flies.
It's cool to hear that you were starting to ride when there was GPS.
Yeah.
When I was starting, we didn't even know.
No, there was GPS.
Yeah.
There was
the way to
GPS.
go.
So it was really nice. So
I loved it with maps.
I loved it. The road was amazing. It was really nice. I really enjoyed every moment of it. You're only on a motorcycle, you get these kind of different sensations, different smells, different views, different temperature. You go down into a valley and the temperature drops, and you go up, it goes up. It's crazy. People that don't ride will never understand it.
Neil, what
it's
about
like,
you?
I think I fell in love with riding only with my current motorcycle, because the first one was just learning. It was like going on a highway with that. I remember it was so scary. Like I was afraid. Real love came with my current motorcycle.
I think it came with the experience. It's not necessarily with the specific bike. It's with the experience. You don't need to pay attention to the riding, and now you start to pay attention to all around you. And that's how I see it.
It's true, but I don't think that I would be able to do that with something else than what I ride today. The nice thing about the riding is what you just mentioned. It's like looking around, seeing. When you're paying attention to the surroundings, you can see all kind of wild animals, which I love. I love that, right? Yeah. You come into a road that you've never seen before, the view that you don't see every day, right? Like you go north to Ontario, for example, the view over there is amazing. Suddenly you have a waterfall coming from nowhere. Like suddenly you see it.
I remember when Daddy and me went on the tail of the dragon. I was behind him, like on the back seat with him. I wasn't riding, but it was amazing with all the view, and it was like I've never seen it before.
I'm going to ask you both same question with the difference. The difference is Neil is still riding a motorcycle, adventure motorcycle, 2 wheels. I understand that. Uri, you on the other hand, riding a trike, which means you didn't feel comfortable anymore to ride 2 wheels. You moved to 3 wheels, but you never gave up on riding.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So the reason I switched to the 3-wheelers, as you mentioned, and I felt unsafe on the 2-wheeler because my sense of balance is not that good, and I'm old. So the choice was either give up riding altogether or move to something that is a little bit more comfortable or easier to handle. And that's the reason why I got myself a trike, a Harley trike.
Yeah, but I have to say a car is easier to handle, but you still went on the... Exactly. That's exactly what I'm asking.
It's not the same. A car is a mode of transportation. That's what it is. It takes you from point A to point B. It doesn't really matter what kind of car it is. A motorcycle is something completely different. I don't need a motorcycle as a mode of transportation. I have a car. I have a motorcycle because it's, call it daddy's toy or granddaddy's toy. And that's my toy, that's my psychiatrist. So, and the biggest advantage is that A, it's cheaper than a real psychiatrist, and B, it's a lot more efficient as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed.
Because when you stress, when you need, like even today on the short ride that we did from home to visit you, Mickey, even this short ride, it's and this was really my call it first longer ride that I've done this season because life got in the way, but it feels amazing. I mean, it's something completely different. It's totally different, and that's it.
Non-riders people will never understand.
Yeah.
And I agree, but I don't want... Yeah, but I'm looking for someone who can explain that. Like, I'll go back to Neil. You're still riding 2 wheels, but I'm going to ask you a question. If at some point you will feel unsafe or uncomfortable with 2 wheels, would you consider go to 3 wheels, or you would give up completely on riding?
I can tell you 100%, without any doubt, that in the next 10 years, I'm probably moving to a trike.
So you're not giving up on riding no matter what?
I'm not going to give up the riding, and actually, to be honest with you, when I'll get that trike, I think that I'm going to go and explore even more.
Mickey, you asked me before why I switched into a motorcycle, into a trike. it got to a point where I needed to make a decision. And yes, a two-wheeler is more of a motorcycle than a trike, no question about it. Nobody argues about that.
Yeah.
And the feeling of riding a two-wheeler is very different than riding a trike. There's no
Yeah,
question
the
about
trike
that
is kind
either.
of like a mini car or an
Well, no,
ATV.
not exactly, but anyways, the feeling is different, the riding is different, there's no question about it. But there was a point that I needed to make a decision whether I want to take the risk and continue to ride a two-wheeler, or am I to decide that safety is better than persona?
Yeah, or
And
like
at my age, okay, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough that if I get into an accident like I did 10 years ago, I'm gonna be in a lot more trouble. So it was a simple decision. Okay, I wanna continue to ride because I love the riding, I love the camaraderie, I love the wind in my face, blowing my hair, which I don't have. I love that part, but I can't do it on a two-wheeler anymore, so trike was the answer.
So, why do you think the rider community is so strong?
I think you're experiencing something that the regular population does not. The sense of riding a motorcycle, the freedom that is involved with it, the persona that goes with motorcycle riders, is something that regular people do not have, do not feel, do not know about. So I think it also has to do with the way society is looking at motorcycles also. I mean, society immediately associate motorcycle with tough guys and, maybe violence or criminality or that kind of stuff.
But it's changing slowly.
It is changing, no question. It is changing, but back in the days, that was the persona that people think. You see somebody on a motorcycle with a leather jacket and all of that, take the Fonzie from Day of Our Lives. I mean, that's the association that people has. And because of that, motorcycle community is kind of, I wouldn't say stick together because that's not really the case. But there's kind of a certain sensibility of brotherhood, like when you stop at a gas station, there's another guy with a motorcycle, automatically you'll start talking to him.
Right.
There's no ifs and buts. So I think that's part of the reason.
And I do find most of the motorcycle community are very nice to each other, very respectful.
Oh yeah.
There are many brotherhood, there are many clubs. And
there's a lot of respect.
From my personal experience, it doesn't matter which club they're coming from. Normally, there's a lot of respect, unless there's animosity between two kinds of clubs, like a live dispute or whatever, or territories, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know how it works. But as long as there's not this thing, I mean, people are respectful to each other normally, and I've been riding for what, 15, 20 years. I can't say that I ever had a case where things were uncomfortable with other riders.
When you said the motorcycle is your escape, if you've seen the channel, there's a video where my dad comes on his chopper. I'm on the driveway, comes there, and I'm like, "Mommy wants you to clean the house. Run away!" And he goes and escapes.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
would you like your kids to ride? Is that something you would pass?
As long as I know that they're being safe, but I think that riding a motorcycle making us better drivers as well, because
That's true. That is actually very true.
We're learning how to extend our vision across the intersection to see what's coming and what can hit me.
Yeah. What makes you better driver when you ride a motorcycle is your sensory vision of all around.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking. That's what Nir mentioned.
If you had to stop riding tomorrow, what would you miss the most?
Not much, because I'd be dead.
What are you gonna miss the most?
Like I said, I wasn't really joking that I said that I'll be dead, okay? Because I don't see myself in a position where I cannot ride even a trike.
I want from every one of you, what would riding means in one sentence?
Freedom.
How about you?
Same.
How about you?
Same thing, honestly.
For me, it would be life.
Oh, that's a
Good one.
Would you let your kids ride?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
would-
And I will tell you why.
say
And I will absolutely.
He will kick you out of the garage and tell
Listen,
you right
listen,
now.
let me tell you something. First of all, my kids are older, a lot older than you, so they can do whatever the hell they want. They don't really ask me what they can do and what they can't.
yeah, absolutely.
But the reality is that if it was in my power, the answer would be sure, ride a trike. Okay? It's because motorcycles are dangerous. There's no argument about it. There's no easy accident that happens on a motorcycle.
no
my
real
accident was at 20 kilometers an hour. Okay? I didn't hit anyone. It was just me being stupid on a motorcycle.
I heard about people got choked from eating Doritos. Then
That's
don't let
true.
your kids
That
eat
is
Doritos.
true. That is true. That is true. No, there's no argument about it. There's no argument about it. But riding it, when you ride a motorcycle, it fulfills a certain need
Yeah.
that you have as a person.
True.
Okay? If my kids don't have that need, then don't ride a motorcycle.
Maybe motorcycles are not about speed. They are about freedom. They are about being alive. They are about peace. They are about having fun. That's why we ride. Thank you for watching MBL Garage Talks.